Hello, my voiceover friends. How are you today? Thanks so much for stopping by to check out the video. Good to hang with you to start our day together. And this morning, the thought I want you to be thinking about is this: voiceover marketing. Think global, not local. The reason I brought this up today, I was reminded of this just the other day, and actually, this happens a lot. I receive many emails and comments from people who talk about the fact that they're asking for marketing advice, and they're like, "Well, I'm going to all of the local video producers in my town and giving them business cards or introducing myself, but now what do I do?" And by the way, there's nothing wrong with going around locally and introducing yourself to content producers. But when I market, here's what I think about. I think about leveraging and scale. In other words, I want to market as broadly. I want to hit as many prospective clients, get my demo on as many ears as I possibly can. And I want to do it with the least amount of effort. I mean, you call me lazy if you want to, but I would rather work less and get a greater result than work my butt off for very little payback. And marketing and thinking in terms of marketing local is one of those low leverage type of activities. I mean, you can do it and you might even get some work out of it, but it's not going to be the best use of your marketing time. So it used to be back in the day before technology allowed us all of these leveraged ways to communicate and market ourselves. That's the way we had to do it. I mean, you go back several decades, and the most successful voiceover talent were the men and women who were putting feet to the streets. I mean, they were going door to door at studios, taking, with pens and coffee mugs and shaking hands, kissing babies. I mean, they were marketing themselves. And that's what they needed to do because their market was local. So if you lived in Chicago, you were a Chicago market voice talent. Now, that didn't mean you didn't do national type of work, but at that point, technology had not created the platforms and the ability to operate on a global level easily. We had to do it, through agencies and that kind of thing. Today, it is a completely different ballgame. It is as easy to market halfway around the world as it is to market in your own backyard. So when you think marketing, don't think, and people ask me all the time, when I lived in the Chicago area, now we recently moved to Cincinnati, but the same thing would apply. People would say, well, what's the Chicago market like in voiceover? My response is, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I've got some Chicago clients, but I don't think of myself that way. Just because I, would occasionally do a session in Chicago or do a session for a client in Chicago. Frankly, when I was doing, unless I went into the studio, which didn't happen all that often because I didn't need to go into a studio, most of my Chicago clients had no idea that I even lived in the area, nor did they care. It just didn't matter because using Source Connect or even a phone patch or Zoom or Skype or Microsoft Teams, we can communicate, or they can just send me a script and I can record it and send it out. So the good news for those of us who are North American English-speaking folk is that there is a big demand for North American English-speaking voices all over the world because English is the international, the global business language. As a matter of fact, right before I did this session, I recorded a project for Bayer Pharmaceuticals for a client located in India. I've got clients in India, Japan, China, Russia, the Middle East, South America, Canada, and I bet 25% of all my work comes from Europe through European clients. The biggest job I ever had, which was when I was the global signature voice for the Chevrolet Find New Roads campaign, came through an agency in Europe. My point is, as you market, your prospective clients are literally everywhere. And if you limit yourself to just contacting the folks within a 10-mile radius, you are doing yourself a terrible disservice. And then we really don't have time to get into the whole conversation about how you leverage that, but just let me give you just a sense and an idea. When you use platforms like Voice123 or Voices.com or Fiverr or Upwork, those are platforms that allow you to leverage yourself by reaching out and being able to work with people outside of your own market. When you reach out and direct market to producers and content creators in Europe or in the Middle East, you are leveraging your efforts by reaching outside of your own backyard. When you get on talent rosters that market globally, and that's one of my favorite things to do is to get on talent rosters that actually do the marketing and advertising for me. So they're doing the heavy lifting. My job is just to figure out a way to get listed. Now, and if you struggle with all of this and you think, okay, well, this all it sounds good, but it's connecting the dots and making all this happen. And I totally get that. And that's the challenge. I mean, it's one thing to, and I've got over 700 videos on this channel, all for the purpose of teaching and training you and helping you to become a profitable voiceover talent. But piecing it all together and having a plan where you do A, B, C, and having somebody walk you through that and give you feedback, that's the difficult part. And that's why I have a comprehensive training program, the VoiceOver Blueprint. So for those of you, some of you guys are getting it done and you're doing great. And this is not something that you necessarily need. Although if you've kind of stalled and hit a plateau, then it might be something to consider. But for those of you who just feel like you're just kind of walking in circles saying, what do I do? What do I do next? I can't even get my studio set up. I can't get my audio to sound right. I don't understand how to put this all together and make it work. I understand that frustration, and it can take a lot of time. It can take a lot of money if you're trying to figure it out on your own. So if you want to learn more about my comprehensive program, which is the training, the curriculum, the live interactive portion, the community, it's the whole VoiceOver University experience. There's a link below in the description of this YouTube video, or you can simply go to BillDeweeseLive.com. There I have a free 50-minute training video that gives you an overview of the business and how to get started. But then you can schedule to set up a telephone call to learn more, to see if the program's a good fit for you, to see if you're a good fit for the program. Because we're looking for serious students in that program. This is for people who really, really want to make this happen. So if that's you, great. But I do appreciate you checking out the video, not only this video, but here on the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and that you share and get the word out. And today, spend a little time, think marketing. I think it's good to spend a little bit of time every day to think marketing, but think globally. Don't think your market. Think outside your market in the U.S. Think outside your market in your regional market, but within the U.S. And then think outside of the U.S. And then I want you to push it even further and say, okay, where have I not marketed? Where has my voice not been yet? Because I'm telling you, it is a big pond out there with a lot of prospective clients. But your job is to make sure that you find ways to get heard. If you can get heard, and you've got the right tools in place and you've developed the ability, the right skill, then you can get the work and you can make the voiceover dream come true. So again, thanks for your time. I appreciate you stopping by. It's good talking to you. Make sure you check out the links below, and I look forward to talking to you again very soon. Have a great day. Make it a great day.